Welcome to Flash Tutorial Request 94 Animated Quiz. This is a little animated path that a player will be on, and at different points in the path they'll be asked true, false, multiple choice questions. When you finish this set of 3 or 4 videos, you'll have something like this, where you're giving a question, 202 plus 303. Let's say you guess wrong. It tells you the wrong answer, and the little guy moves up to here. What is this shape? I'm going to get the right answer. Rectangle. Tells me I got the correct answer and moves on. Lord of the Rings. Correct answer. Moves on. It always moves on. Halifax is the capital of Nova Scotia. I'll say false. It tells me it's the wrong answer. And eventually you get to the end. We're going to start with a new FLA. Select an action, script 3. Okay. Call this first layer BG as in background. Over here, I want no fill. So click here and click this square here so there's no fill. And I'm going to go with a rid for my stroke. Pick up my rectangle tool. If you're seeing a circle or an oval, click here and you'll get a drop down menu. You want to select rectangle. And I think I can move this down. Now I'm just going to show you how I made this background. I used my rectangle tool and I started with a rectangle like that. I highlighted it. And the only thing that's important right now is that it be 32, around 32 wide. So make that 32. Don't worry if the height changes. And then see you got those fuzzies on it, right click, copy it, paste it in place. And if I use my arrow keys, I can move it over. Just showing you how I made this. Right click, paste it in place again. I then moved it up like this, for example. This is just for example. And then I modify it up here, modify, transform, rotate 90 degrees. So I rotated it. I clicked on it and dragged it, and see, I cut too much here. I also copied this one. Click and drag just this one. Then I got it close, and I could see that it's going to be too short. So instead of playing around, go here and get this, what's called the free transform tool. Click there, free transform tool, and you see this. Take that circle, put it there, click here and drag it and exaggerate it. Make sure you pass these quite a bit. Go back to your selection tool, use the arrow keys, bring it down and exaggerate where you're putting it. By that I mean extend it beyond everything. So then once you have this and you have your layout, which I'll show you in a minute, then you're going to pick up the selection tool and just click here and then delete. Click, delete. Get on it, click and delete, click and delete. Okay, I think you're getting the message. I'll pause for a minute and get back to you. Now, the reason we extended them, because if you try to match them up right in line, sometimes you don't complete the structure and you can't use the fill bucket. So now down here, get the fill bucket, click on that, and let's just, for example, right now, pick blue. Pick up the bucket, and every place where you have 2 crossover, fill that in. All right, so now I think you got the idea. I'm going to now show you what I have. Okay, this is what I have. Okay. Now, to follow my tutorial, I think the only important thing is that I have C1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus an end. And I'm suggesting you make these ends a different color. This is where you're going to start. And when you get to each of these squares, you're going to be asked some kind of a question, and then you give the answer. Now, on this line, I want you to go up to 454. Seems like a long way, but that's where we're going, 454. And there it is there. And when you select it, if I select there and say insert a keyframe, and I can see I actually am only 450. So I'm just going to move it up a little bit. And I can look down here, 454. Now you can lock that layer. We're finished with that layer. Use this bar and go back to frame 1 here. Come down here, insert a layer. Call this the player, P-L-A-Y-E-R. He's going to be playing the game, or it's going to be playing the game. Select that first frame. Come over here. Pick up some color other than, I'm going to go with pinkish color with a dark red for my stroke and my fill. I now want my oval tool, so click here, oval tool, and I'm going to make a little oval. Let's make this a little bigger for a minute, 200. Just get on any one of these squares for a minute and make an oval. There it is. Make it a little bigger if you want. And I think I'm going to give it eyes. So I'm going to pick up my paintbrush right there. This is the paintbrush. So make this stroke or this fill black. And one eye, two eyes, and a tail. Oh, I don't like that tail too much. And a tail. There. Pick up your selection tool, highlight it, come up here, modify it, convert it to a symbol, and select graphic. And let's just call it player, P-L-A-Y-E-R underscore G-R-P as in graphic. Click OK. Let's go back down to 100%. Click that little guy and put him right here. And if you need to, use your arrow keys to put him right in the center of that box. I want you to select frame 7. There's 5, 6, 7 right here. And I know it's 7 because I can see it written down here. Right click, insert a keyframe. Now, you don't have to use these exact numbers, but I'm using them because I've already built this FLA, and I'm trying to keep it as close to that as I can because it makes it easier for me to pass the information on. Go up to 41. Right click, insert another keyframe. Now, on frame 41, I want you to highlight your player and using your arrow keys, move him up to that next spot. Right here. Right click in here, make a classic tween, and you'll see you have this purplish blue. There's the back of an arrow and the front of an arrow, so you'll walk up to there and stop. Click on this frame, highlight your player, modify, transform. I want to rotate it clockwise, so now he's facing this way when he starts his next run. We're on frame 41. Go up to frame 47, which I think is right here. Nope, right here, 47. Insert a keyframe. That takes him up to there. Now go up to 86. Insert a keyframe. While he's on 86, highlight him, use your arrow keys, bring him over to here, come in here, right click, make a classic tween. Okay, that takes him up to frame 86. Now I want to go up to 93, which I think is right here. Insert a keyframe. This is where we turn them again. Modify, transform clockwise again. Oh, the wrong way because he's coming back. Transform counterclockwise twice. Modify, transform counterclockwise. I want him to face in that way now, so he's going to go up. Go up to frame 132, which is right here. 132. Insert a keyframe. Use your arrow keys. Get him up to that next section. Get in here, right click, make it a classic tween. That's the 132. Go up to 138. It's right here on my part. Right there. Insert a keyframe. This is where we rotate them again. Now you could rotate them by hand by using this tool here and clicking like that. If you want, see that? It's that free transform tool. I got on them, I highlighted it, I got the arrow and just turned it, and it usually locks in pretty good. There he is there. That's on 138. Go to 178. It should be right about here. Insert a keyframe. He's got to move a little bit. Pick up your selection tool. Don't do it while that free transform tool is on there. Move my arrow key over to here. Get him roughly in the middle. And 185. Insert a keyframe. Nope, back here. We got to make this a classic tween. Right click, classic tween. And then 185. Insert a keyframe. And pick up your free transform tool. And rotate them. See, it doesn't always want to click in. Good. Now, let's just look and see what that's like. Control, test movie, test. There he goes. Oh, we got something wrong with this one. We've got to straighten that out. I must not have done that right. So I'm going to go back and do that one. I don't want him doing that. So there's my first frame. He's there. Put my selection tool. And here, I shouldn't have rotated them yet. See that? He shouldn't be rotated here. So let's straighten that out. He shouldn't be rotated yet. He shouldn't be rotated till here. There. Let's test that out again. It's going straight. Hits here. Hits here. There. And there. And then, okay. So I'm going to do the rest. Then I'm going to get back to you and tell you where the changes were made. 185 is where we rotated them. My next keyframe is 223. My next keyframe here is 233. I'm just keeping my keyframes. Then 272, 279, 318, 326, 365, 374, we're getting up there now, 412, 419, and that's where we started, 454. So now let's see what that looks like. We have this little nose, gets up here, changes directions, changes directions. And because we have no action script stopping it, as soon as he hits here, he'll start over again. Good, I'm happy with that. And I think that's enough for this video. Certainly is going to be a follow-up. It'll be Flash Tutorial 95, Animated Quiz Part 2. So if you plan on doing that Part 2, make sure you save this FLA. Hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learn.